One.
Hi, I'm Trudy with Heal Wellness and Therapy, and I'm here with my friend today. We're going to be discussing sleeping positions. More importantly, efficient sleeping positions to prevent injury as a method to increase your ability to maintain a healthy alignment of your body as you heal and sleep during the night. So, can you tell me how you normally sleep?
I sleep on my back with my hands above my head and...
All right, go ahead and lay yourself in the position that you normally sleep in. And so what we can see with the position that she has chosen as a sleeping position on her back is merely just a habit for her. And so what I mean by that is this is kind of the habitual position her brain has learned to relax in. But there's nothing efficient about it. What I'd like to speak about is the fact that her hip rotators on her left leg are on full tension, which will then drive issues within her pelvis. Her low back has no support on the table. Even if it was a nice supportive bed, there would still be no support for her low back. I can place my entire arm underneath, which says that her hip flexors are on tremendous tension, which implies issues related to hip and low back dysfunction. On her upper half, you can see that her rib cage is lifted, which she does to compensate and allow her diaphragm to breathe during the night. And she makes that happen by bringing her arms up and over her head. However, that creates impingement and pain in her shoulders. And more importantly, her head is completely forward, which puts a lot of tension and issues related to neck pain and headaches. So what I would like to do is show her a more efficient position to sleeping, and then the trick will be to teach her how that is her new habit of sleeping. So let's begin with the lower half. What I'd like you to do is to bend both of your knees up for me, please. In that position, can you see that I can no longer get my arm all the way underneath? So shortening and putting no tension on your hip flexors actually tremendously helps your low back. In order to allow this to happen when you sleep at night, we're going to use some pillows underneath your legs. So, using large pillows under your legs will allow you to keep tension off of your hip flexors. So let's go ahead and lift your legs. Bring your knees up to your chest for me for a moment. When you're using pillows under your legs, you really do want to make sure that you get to the point that the pillow is supporting the contour of your bottom before you allow yourself to let your legs fall down on that. So as she now brings her legs down, and slide your legs down for me, her leg bones are now supported and it is taking the tension off of her hip flexors. More importantly, I can't get my hand underneath her back, so her lumbar spine is now in a closer to neutral position. However, there still is some space between her calves and her legs. So what we want to do is kind of fill in any dead space so there is not the ability of her wanting to move throughout the night to try to compensate for that. So lift your legs again for me, please. And then as she does that, now we have filled in all of the space underneath her legs. We have taken her hip flexors and placed them off of tension, and we've put her lumbar spine into a more neutral position. All of these ideas of mid-range of position or neutral with filling all the spaces and being pain-free is really something that I have learned through the Institute of Physical Art, where I am a faculty member. If you're interested in learning more about that, I encourage you to check out their YouTube channel as well. Now, getting to the upper half of her body. First things first, this pillow is just way too large for her, so what we want to do is select a pillow that is more appropriate for her head height. How do I know is going to be the correct height for her head? Well, what I want to do is contour the pillow around her neck. I also want to make sure that if you look at her forehead to her chin, it's fairly parallel to the bed, so she's no longer in a forward head position. For her, if we allow her neck to be supported, you can see that her rib cage is already laying into a more rested position. Her shoulders are no longer in a position of impingement. If she still wants to bring her arms up and over, what we can also do is give her something to hold. Oftentimes, people simply bring their arms up and over the head because it allows them to let their diaphragm open, and it allows them to have more imbalance through their upper body, which you'd think wouldn't be good, but when you're laying horizontal, it's a really common habit. I often ask people if they need to learn, they can interlace their hands to sleep. If they say that they bring their arms down and either they get tingling in their fingers or that's just not comfortable for them, then really it is nice to give somebody something that they can hug, and I'll actually encourage them to hug something. If they have a specific shoulder problem where not wanting to bring their arm down because it puts tension in their shoulders, oftentimes what you can do is actually support the pillow underneath the shoulder, I mean not the shoulder, but the actual arm, and that will take the tension off of the shoulder as well. So what I'd like you to see here is what I've done is put her in as neutral as I can through all of the joints of her body. I've also put her in a position where all of her joints are halfway between each of their edges of motion. There's no areas that are not supported, so that she can now learn to sleep in this position as a new habit. So, if you are a back sleeper and this is something that is new to you, I encourage you to try this in your bed. I would also ask you, if you like this video, to select the like button underneath this video. Please place any comments you like, and I promise I will reply either through video or comment. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and most importantly, select that little bell so that when we make new videos, you'll be informed about it. Thanks for listening.